style of font that we really
Brings you back.
they didn't really change it much. Set in their ways.
Google's never been known to be like paragons of design. Yeah.
Is Matt on it?
I don't think so. Yeah. Good to go?
Yeah, so
Cool.
Thank you everybody for coming again. Just as a housekeeping note, the bathrooms are outside the space. So if you need to use the washroom, I'll be standing out here. So just come to me and I'll get you out there with the swipe card. If anyone needs to leave and come back, same thing. Just send me a message when you're coming back. Or if you know anyone at the door, get them to send me a message and I'll go pick them up. So that's just the housekeeping. Should be pretty simple. And Mike, maybe you want to just do a quick intro to developer productivity. If you've got anything to add?
Yeah, I don't. Just thanks so much for AbdulKabir for putting together the talk. Looking forward to it. Thanks to everybody for coming out again. Sorry for the late start tonight, but it's great to see everybody again before the holidays set in. And yeah, enjoy the talk. All good to go?
Thank you.
Sweet.
Hi everyone. My name is AbdulKabir. I work as a full stack engineer at One Liquidity. One Liquidity is a fintech business service provider. I do 99% backend, 1% front end. So, but I mean, it's still full stack. So everyone on the team is a full stack engineer. And I also started the GD chapter here in St. John's. So GD chapter is a local chapter just like this, and there are a couple of events that happens across the year, and one of them is happening on Saturday called DevFest. So DevFest is a developer festival similar to this, but you have like a series of talks and panel and all of that. So I brought up a talk on developer productivity. It's something that has usually been in my head, and my manager is always, each time he does a trick, he will tell you that, you know, just learn this. And then tomorrow he does another trick, and there's always a lot of tricks. And the curiosity is just trying to like put everything together and see if we can gain something from this. Yeah, okay, so we have two major aspects: behavior, deviation, technical, and what's on your mind. So behavior is just what are like productivity behaviors, and there's a little bit of deviation, and then what are like technical productivity actions, technologies, and all of that. And what's on your mind is just like get other people's story. Yeah, so with behavior, the first is, you know, depending on how you work, yeah, it might be a very good habit to, you know, have like work focus mode on your devices. And you know, if you have to respond at work, and I mean, it isn't that you should, you know, just go off on silence or something. But if you need to respond, you can leave it. If you don't need to, just find whatever works for you. For some people, when they don't get notifications, they tend to be more, they have like more concentration. So if you're that kind of person, that would be very helpful. Secondly is work home public status. So this is, you know, while you're at home, you can make it a culture. You can have it on your door, even in the office. You can just have it on your door. Don't disturb me. Chances are that if there's someone that is coming to play with you, it might just push that person away. Although you still have friends that, regardless of whatever you put, they'll still come into your office and, you know, have you disturbed. But, you know, that's also fine. Listening meeting times, find peak time and take breaks. So this would depend on everyone. For a lot of engineers, there is this superpower to finish a day's task 2 hours before stand up. So if that's your peak time, or whatever works for you. A lot of people have a lot of things done in the morning, just before stand up. So whatever works for you, just find it out and take breaks. So this would also like give you some brain bandwidth. Most times, a couple of times when you are stuck on bugs, you just take a break, you step out, you go play game, and then you come back, you are refreshed, you're able to like do something. There's this 90-20-25. A lot of people have different principles for timing work and break, so you don't have to like do any of this, but just study yourself and see if any of this would help. Define goals for the day. This is just you having at the beginning of the day having like a set target of what you are trying to achieve, and hopefully it helps you just keep track of you have all of those in your score, and okay, I have 4 things to do today. Hopefully I can get one done before 10, this one before 2, and then it helps you to like keep track all of that so you don't burn the day. Notes. I as a person, I'm not a notes person. A lot of people work with, do we have like Notion users here? So it has never worked for me. At work you have to like document things, so it's either going on Swagger or it's going on Notion, so I'm forced to do that. But outside of that, but I do have a friend and he uses Notion very well. In fact, he documents his bugs. He fights with this bug 4 hours, 5 hours, he puts in the bug, he puts in the time, he puts in the steps that he took, and then he puts in like how he was able to solve the bug. So that's like how much the extent people go to document things, and then each time it's just easier.
Does he share that with the team, or does he like keep that to himself, or is he working by himself?
This is a link to his website, but I don't think that part of it is public.
Okay, yeah.
But you can say that there's a lot of things, resources I enjoyed, and if you go through all this content, it would actually tell you. I'm not just sure where it is, but for all the articles he reads, it will tell you like why it is great, the lessons from that article, and you can imagine if it is very useful for me to have bookmarked it, it must have been exponentially useful for him. So that's another nice habit. So so different people have different options. Like I asked on the NDev channel and I got like a couple of suggestions. So some use Obsidian, and so just document a lot of things so that it's easy for you to just go in there, do a Ctrl F, and get out what you want. And this is an honorable mention. Jack listed this on the NDev channel. It's just like a formula to getting things done. I'll probably like tag it on the channel so you can just see it, what it is. So this is not Andrew, and Andrew works at Verafin. He likes to make music, but I felt like this is a very nice LinkedIn header. So he's a senior engineer at Verafin, and he also responded to, who knows Andrew?
Who knows? I know Andrew.
Yeah, so on the thread of suggestions, when I was asking for people's opinion, you mentioned this: manual productivity, I can stand up and walk away from the computer. Rest time is best time, and I end up doing more later if I don't force it. An important aspect of that is not judging yourself for taking the time to consider and relax before solving anything. Word left on here, but there it is. So, it's essential to, take break, and so that one does not like end up this guy. So it might not just be, you fall asleep. It can just be frustration, but breaks are very nice things. For work. Yeah, so this is the deviation. This isn't essentially, productivity thingy, but I asked my manager, and he said that I really can't remember what he did, but I asked him how I was able to do it, and then it was like curiosity. He got that out of curiosity, and the curiosity later ended up, being used for productivity. But I'm not sure how, there's a chain there somewhere. But the point is that as small as a shower temperature drop So while you're at home, you take your bath and there's this water heater. Normally when you set it to 60, it gets hot to a certain temperature, and then after a while, the temperature changes and you just feel like, okay, I'll just take it to 70. That's fine, but some people would, why has this guy changed from 60 to 70, and then they will take their time to, check the heater, the pipes, whatever it is, call a plumber, just make sure that that guy goes back to the temperature that it was at 60. The point of it is, as little as this curiosity is, it comes into play in our daily lives, and it comes into play while you work. And when you take into consideration all those small things, you would be exposed to edge cases and unusual scenarios, and that in turn, the next time you are doing something of that nature, you are just like working at some certain level of speed because you've taken your time, or you've been opportune to have worked with that before. So this is just another thing, just passive learning, being inquisitive, and of course there's always a lot to learn from that. Advent of code is a lot of us would know advent of code, and if there is someone that does not, it's just like there are these challenges, and they have like you will make a submission like for a couple of challenges, one per day, I guess, or depending. So there are usually like different ways to solve this, and a lot of people will just sit down and just check the conditions. This is checked, and then make a submission. While some people would make all those checks, and then they will just sit. So how do I make this thing more optimized? How do I reduce the speed from 1 millisecond to 0.5 millisecond? And that's just another thing. While you're trying to do that, you come across all these same edge cases, unusual scenarios, and they could be very helpful later. And this is work assignment. So you have a ticket, and the product manager says that as a user, I want to be able to sign up. As a user, I want to be able to forget password. As a user, I want to be able to do this. And once you achieve that, as a user, I want to be able to do this. Ticket is checked. You just pass into the ticket, and then you move forward. But it's always nice to find ways to optimize whatever it is that you're doing, because all of this, like a same story, can be very helpful later. Okay, technical. So before I proceed, I wanted to ask if anyone had like suggestions on productivity behaviors. None. Thank you. Okay, I'm not tracking time, so just let me know.
No, don't worry, I'll let you know.
Okay.
If things get out of hand, but we have that hand up here.
I've got a background in psychology, so to add to what you're saying about stepping away, Andrew's stepping away, there's a process that happens like a chicken egg incubation. So when you step away from a task that you're struggling with, fighting with, it gives your brain time and a context switch to work on that in the background for you to then come back with a fresh state of mind. Your chances of solving that issue increase statistically. That's shown. So yeah, the science is there for incubation and what you're talking about.
Thank you very much. A lot of people would just I've had like conversation with my friends, and just chatting, and then remember something. I'm like, psst, and then he runs to pick up his MacBook, pick up his laptop, and tries to like just get it sorted. He kind of like just remembered that. Yeah. So developer wise or technical wise, how do we get more productive? So the first is custom bash command. There are a lot of ways you can shorten your command. They save milliseconds, or they are quite negligible. But for someone like me, whereby we use serverless in my company, and you have to like, for development it's easy, you just do SLS, deploy, development. But for production, and you have to like put in the what's it called, the zone or the
Focus.
stage. Different region. Yeah. So when you have to like deploy a different region, that command, I don't know it off head, so I just like created the custom command SLS prod prod, and then it goes. So if you work with if you SSH into a server every day, SSH 127.54.5, all of those, instead of having to copy paste typo, just find something that works very nice. For Windows, I'm sure there's like an easy way, but for Mac it's as easy as open your bash profile, add your alias similar to this, and then you just like source it out, and everything is good to go. So this is one way to save your time and save a lot of errors. So if you work with IP addresses and all of that, that's just very much easy. Second is Ansible. Is there anyone that uses Ansible or .files here?
Have used Ansible.
Would you want to? I for one don't use this, but I know that it's very helpful, and I kind of like. I took my time with it so that I could like share it, but it would be nice if you can just like give us an insight to how you use it.
Oh, it's been a long time since I've used Ansible, but it's a handy tool for configuring computers. So it allows you to, it's all packaged too, so people have written plugins and packages for it, but let's say you have a computer, you need to install a bunch of Linux packages on it and configure the SSH configuration in a certain way and lock down the network with firewall rules. You can write all that code in an Ansible description and then run Ansible and say, run this configuration on these 1,000 computers, and all those 1,000 computers will be configured just like that. Yeah, it's pretty handy if you need to manage a lot of machines remotely. And you can use it locally as well.
Yeah, thank you. Do you want to give addition? I thought you raised your hand.
Yeah, sorry, no,
We work together over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, so a scenario would be, I've been using this machine for 9 months, and day to day you get to remember to install this guy, install that guy, install a lot of things on your PC, and you don't have a list. And tomorrow, if you need to switch your Mac or switch your device, or sometimes all these things get misplaced, you have to now sit down. The easiest part of it is just move files, and then you're like, oh, my VS Code config, that's even easy. But all these applications that you need to install, a lot of times, there are a lot of things, a whole lot of it that we've installed day to day that we know that we don't even know. Sometimes when you have bug, you just want to like run this package, and then that package that you installed when you're trying to fix your bug is somehow useful later on, but you don't even know. But everything just works, and then when you have to change your machine, it's a whole lot of work for you to do. Or in a company, you have like you give out new PCs, and there's like a requirement for for the stack that you're working with. This was a very nice way to have all your configurations, all your commands and preferences set up in a file, and it's just one command and everything happens. You don't have to like install ZSH, install QF, install a whole lot of things. And this is just similar to how the config is. You have your host for like this particular scenario, localhost, because it's a machine. Become is just you saying that this is sudo. You have like the permission to do a lot of things. You have pretags, variables, task, and this is an example. Install all my ZSH, and this is the command. So you can have like 500 of this, and then one like command to run everything, and everything is just backup. Just very nice. Yeah. Is this a very okay?
A good example of doing that would be for the guy who left the project behind that I'm working on this week, because the README just says install these 5 products. I'm not going to tell you where to get them or what they are, the version numbers. Just go get them. Oh, by the way, one of the companies doesn't exist anymore. So if you had an Ansible file that would go out to the internet and just grab it all and set the machine up, so then you can do a build for a customer. Your boss says we need this next week, and no one at the company has previously worked on the repo.
That's of course
That
very
would be
interesting. Yeah, very well. Is this familiar? Is this familiar? I guess it's extreme, but a lot of time, like if you have like, we do have like 3 terminals on our screen, and you just have to like switch between this one, switch between this one. This one is running your server. This one is running Docker. This one is use this one for like to do this. You can have like 5, 6 terminals open, and you have to like control tab, just switch, or maybe you move this one to this side, move this one. There's a lot of mathematics and screen sharing happening in your brain, in your skull, so that you try to be smart. You put this one here, put this one here, put this one here, put this one here, and then it get mixed up at some point in time. And we have this guy called Timox. Essentially helps us to achieve what we have here. we have a server, we have session, we have a window, and we have pane. So you can take pane to be like a tab. So on your browser you have different tabs. So the same way a window can have, different panes, and you have sessions. So these sessions are different and they are also named. So you can name your session on your server, and all those sessions can have different windows, and those windows can have different panes. So if you have like multiple projects running at a time, or even the same project but different things, it just helps you to like map out everything. And instead of you doing control tap, you just switch to maybe project 1, switch to project 2, switch to project 3, and it just makes life easy. So now this is Tmux. Tmux is a terminal multiplexer. It lets you switch easily between several programs to one terminal, detach them, they keep running in the background, and attach them to a different terminal. You have a few Tmux commands, Windows and session management, and directory. So this just like gives us an insight. So you can kill a server, you can list all your sessions, you can start a new session. So now another beautiful thing that Tmux allows you to do is if you have you're working on a project and there are different repositories, you CD into this one, and then you CD into this one, and sometimes you have to you want to do something on a different directory, and you have to CD. It's a lot of work. So with Tmux, you're able to create a new session, name the session, and then pass in the directory. So automatically it creates a session in that particular directory for you. You're able to switch all these different things. You're able to rename them. You're able to, there's also like a viewer that helps you to scroll through all the sessions. You can kill a session, and when you kill a session, it kills the window and the pane. When you kill a window, it kills all the pane and all the tabs that you have on the window. I don't know if anyone works with Tmux here.
I worked with the similar terminals, Terminator, where Kiyakwe, I think if I pronounce them correctly.
Well, there's more a terminal that drops down from the top of your list, but yeah, I use Linux a lot.
Yeah, similar. If Jack was around or if Riley was around, I saw Riley use it one of our cities and our meetups. Yeah, so we also have like different other terminals like Kitty. I used Kitty during my Windows days. There's a lot of SSH. You can save different SSHs, put a name, SSH this, SSH that, put a name, put your password, so you don't have to each time do all of those configurations. We have Alacrity and we have Warp, and I would just like to show this. Yeah, so this is a terminal, and it's very nice. It has UI, it has autocomplete. You can literally do VS Code shortcut and all of that on the terminal, which is very nice. I don't use it because it's a lot of getting used to, but it's an option that you might want to try. And there are a lot of other options. Just find one that works, and learn how to use it, and it will be very, very helpful. A lot of time, if you I watch a lot of Twitch streaming. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to add to that list. There's one called Fig that I use.
Fig.
Fig. It's a terminal plugin, and you can actually put in scripts to the snippets like your bash commands.
So there are a lot of options, and they make life easy. I was going to say something, then I forgot. Okay.
It doesn't look like it's come out of the box like that though. It might be using ZSH over the top, or Starship.
Yeah. So a lot of them. I work in fintech. So at fintech, if you have a provider like Stripe, I take in Stripe API, and then I look for a market that's I look for a market of people that don't have of my friends to start with, or add one or two other services to what I do, and I come in as a fintech and I'm using Stripe. So most probably they are using my ZSH or whatever it is, but this is what we see. Yeah, but yeah, thank you. Let's have this closed. Okay, so these are other technical items. Use already built tools and libraries. A lot of people, if it works for your ego, like to build things from scratch, but this is 2022 and it's just easy for you to do a lot of things with a lot of library. There is really, apart from Elon Musk trying to go to the sun, I don't think there's something that is entirely new that you cannot just like lay up on a lot of previous technology and just saves you all the time. And there are some scenarios that maybe this might not work. I've been lucky and unlucky to work on a project that the CTO checks the speed time and checks the size. So he had all of us install an extension that checks the size of all the packages that you use, and it's a good practice. But it's a startup, no customer, no nothing. Just I felt like we could build and try to like optimize, but yeah. So the point is, if you're not in that scenario, it might be nice for you to rely on a lot of things that are already working. But especially with npm, one package can have like 40 dependencies. It works for you, but it's a lot of backlog, and then one of those dependencies can just have a downtime, and you're having this type of meeting Friday night. So there's this guy called GP3. Everyone is talking about it these days, and a lot of people are building nice products with it. I, for one, I've seen kind of like worked with it, asked it to send the React code, send the HTML and CSS code, because of course I don't know front end. I was just trying to see maybe I should learn React. So, but there are a lot of things that can be done. Just trying to and this would also mean leveraging on people, not just technologies. So that would mean that if you are trying to, work on Rust, it's always nice for you to learn Rust. But if you have a colleague that that works with Rust, you can just have a chat with him. He's an existing technology in this regard. So just make life easy for yourself. In summary, navigation and window management. So I used to use Bugin before on Windows, but now that I have a work PC and a personal PC, and the only applications I'm using is just like Chrome, VS Code, Slack. But if you happen to have a lot of applications, like a lot of us would do, Yabai and Bugin will help you to manage your window management. So it helps you to manage your window, and you can have 5 desktops. A lot of times people use cap lock for the configuration. So once you do cap 1, it takes you to screen 1 or window 1. Once you do cap 2, it takes you to window 2. Once you do cap 3, it takes you to window 3. Once you do cap and the front arrow, it takes you to the next window. Once you do cap shift and 1 arrow, it moves your window. Like I have my MacBook here, and I have this screen here. If I wanted to move this guy up onto my MacBook, I just do cap shift and this arrow, like wherever it is that you want it to go to, and it automatically moves this window down to my MacBook. I don't have to use my mouse to remove it from full screen, drag it to this place, make it full screen back again, and it's just very, very nice. Let me see if there is really nothing interactive here. There's this YouTube video, but essentially this is there are a lot of configurations that you can do with it. You can have some windows configured to always be on a certain size. You can have some windows to always open on full screen. You can have some windows to always start up on a particular window. You can have some applications always, a lot of flexibility that just kind of make your life easy. So yeah, I was going to talk about. Yeah.
I had a question about that.
Yeah.
Does that control individual windows of the same application?
Individual windows of
So
the
if you
same
had
application.
This browser window, this browser screen you want in this window, and this browser screen you want in that window.
So to a certain extent, So I have Chrome on this window, and I also have another Chrome on my MacBook. So if I told it to, close Chrome, it would close both of them.
Yeah.
But if I wanted to drag this guy from this place up onto this place, it moves just that window because like it's communicating on window. So there's usually this this line that you have here. It's very small, but there's a purple line on this particular window that shows your active window. So if it's a split tab, if it's whatever it is, that is what it is going to move into. A different different screen or a different whatever it is. Yeah, so I do watch some programmers on Twitch whereby they have like live coding sessions, and it's just really nice to see switch between different things, VS Code to whatever it is, back to Twitch, back to Discord, to maybe someone is trying to like buy something or whatnot. So you can maybe try to do that, but it just it's very helpful. I would have loved to display it, that would be nice, but I did not see a need to install it this time. This is Git Rebase. This is an honorable mention. So, can anyone tell us what Git Rebase is? I'm sure a lot of people know. Go ahead.
Well, there's a little bit of a distinction between just a regular rebase and an interactive rebase. I assume you were talking about.
Yeah,
an
just in
interactive
a regular rebase.
So it's basically reconfiguring or rewriting the history of the Git branch you're on. So you can do things like merge commits together, or swapping the order of commits, or removing commits from the history entirely, or splitting one commit into two. So yeah, just rewriting history.
Yeah, so Git Rebase is a very, very nice Git tool. Like I explained, you can use it to merge commits, split commits, reorder commits, rollback. It also works for rollback in case you push bins into production, you push bug into production. You can also use that to like get back. So this is an interactive tool, and a lot of us do that on the terminal, and being able to swipe through commits this way and do a lot of these things. This was built by Tim. He's also a local in St. John's. He's founder of CTSNL. I just wanted to like mention that here.
And written in Rust, right?
Come again?
Yeah, I think you wrote it in Rust.
You did, yeah.
Anything written in Rust is very nice.
Challenge accepted.
Got my code to compile.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is Guido van Rossum. Does anyone know who this guy is?
Yeah.
Who is he?
DDFL.
Yeah, so the creator of Python. And he said, why did I not know before about Git Worktree? So Git Worktree is another excellent Git tool that also makes life easy. You can imagine if you have your VS Code and you're on a certain branch, you have like a couple of changes on this branch, and you want to check something on another branch, you would most likely have to wait, make a commit, or you just touch it, and then you pull up a new branch. And if you have to like do comparisons, it makes life very stressful. A time I tried to create two repo. I made two copies of the same repo, one on Sublime, one on VS Code, and if you switch the branch, it switches on that other branch. So a lot of that. I wouldn't call it frustration because that's just how it is. But with Git Worktree, we're able to like map around that. So Git Worktree helps you to have active changes in different branches. You can have named commits, you can have branch folders, and this is an example. I wrote GCL here. GCL is git clone. Like I shared earlier, having like custom bash commands. So git clone, if you want to use Worktree, you need to add this guy while cloning -bear. And then you have the repo that you want to clone. So this is a simple Reddit CLI repo. And normally, if you clone this, or if you clone any repo, this is like the normal structure. You have like your license, you have package log.json, you have whatever the file is, you have your readme, and you have your package.json. Now, with Git worktree, the folder structure is different. You have head, description, info, path refs, config hook, object refs. They all have their meaning. But what you want to take note of here is the fact that this is the same. I don't know if this is too small, but I wrote a command there that says git worktree add foo-b foo. What this is saying is I want to create a new folder called foo, and I would have a branch called foo. So I can change this away from foo. I can try to demo it now also. I guess that would make more sense. So I'm going to drag my terminal. What's going on?
You might want to press escape to exit presentation.
Oh, okay. If I had Yabai, I would just need to press command. So command shift and then the arrow, and then it will just bring it to this window. But yeah, we are stuck with that.
Yeah, maybe you should just go Control T.
Let's make this big. Okay, let's make sense of this. So I have a repo called Reddit. That same repo that I have. Let me go to nope. So this is the natural repo. It has a license, it has readme, it has packet.json, it has Reddit. And if we do a git status, we'll see that we are on a main branch. And if we wanted to do something on a different branch, we have to check out to that branch and do whatever it is that we want to do. And if you have active changes, it is usually very frustrating and very risky. Probably VS Code would be more better to demo this, but we just manage it this way. So if you wanted to switch branch, you have to check out to that branch, and then you're on a new branch, and you have absolutely no idea what's happening on the previous branch. Now I have this other guy. Called breed. It's the same repo. When I have head, config, description, foo, hooks, info, objects, path refs, worktree. And this foo here is the branch. I created a new branch, and I told you to create into a folder called foo. I can also, do the same thing. 1 second. Where's the command? Yeah, okay. My terminal. Yeah, so I would say git work tree, and we would just call this new. We'll call the branch new, and we will tell you to create it into a folder called new folder. Okay. New folder. So what we are saying here is we want it to add a new worktree. It would create the branch inside the folder called new folder, and the name of the branch is going to be new. It says preparing worktree, new branch, new. The name of the branch is new, but we have that branch inside the new folder. So if I cd into new folder and I do ls, we have the same thing that we have in that other branch here, and this is a new branch, and that way you can do a lot of things, track different things, and it just makes it makes life easy. And this would come into useful. Imagine if you worked in a company that you ship builds version 0.1, version 0.2, version 0.3. Those are the branch names. Imagine how beautiful it is to have folders in place of all those branches, and you can easily just look like you're working on your laptop trying to like open this folder, open that folder, and you can do all of that. So Worktree has a lot more advantages, but this is just what I wanted to bring out today.
If you merge two branches together, I imagine Worktree's not going to solve that.
If you merge two branches together,
so if I merge new with foo, I'm just going to have two folders, and I have to go clean that up myself.
Yeah, I think you got to tell Worktree to remove the Worktree.
Cool. I mean, that makes sense.
I guess. Okay.
Two more stuff for me, good.
It's already complicated enough. Give it a break.
AbdulKabir, we have a question here in the back for Mike.
I can't really read what the highlighted text, so this might already be covered, but I was just wondering, is that a bare checkout? Kind of looks like a bare tree. And is that required for work trees, or is that just a choice if so?
Can you take that again, please?
So what the repository that you were looking at had a folder called pack refs, and a folder called refs, and a folder called objects, which to me looks like a bare clone of a repository, which is what you would use if you were mirroring, for example. Is that required for work trees? Is that just coincidental? Like, was it a bare repo? Is that required for work trees? And if not, are there any differences working in the two modes?
So I don't know if it is required, or but I guess I don't know if it's required. It came by default, and can anyone help me?
Yeah, he did do a bare checkout. I don't think it's required. I think it'll just create a folder in the repo that's sort of ignored, I think. But I've never used it.
Well, I will try to.
It's basically a branch in a folder.
Yeah.
So if you created more branches, it's copying everything you had there before.
And also, AbdulKabir, we're a bit over time.
Yeah.
Not in a big way or anything, but if you want to clue up, get to some questions and answers, then we can get back to some networking.
Definitely. So we have books. I guess it's probably config files for Worktree.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think they are just a different branch. So it's just maybe necessary files or something for you to get to work.
So those files and folders and stuff, they're normally contained inside the .git folder in your repo. And so when you do a bare checkout, you're just
bringing them out.
Bringing them all out. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, and lastly, run your code. Please run your code. Please, I beg you. You've been coding for 30 minutes. Run it. So a lot of times, it just helps you. So that you don't have to Ctrl Z, then run it at that point, then Ctrl Z, run it, then you now do Ctrl Shift Z, trying to come back and trace everything. It's just easy for you to just get that out of the way.
Can I take that one a little step further?
Yeah, please do.
Test-driven
Yay,
development.
I'm going to take that one another step further. Do that every single time. Just do that every time before you even think about doing a git rebase.
Yeah, thank you. So please, I use autosave, but it might not just work for you. So imagine if you have to compile upon each save. That can be very frustrating using autosave, but just find whatever is good, but do a lot of running. Yeah, so this is where I ask for addition, subtractions, or maybe you can push that to questions. I don't know. If anyone has something to add, please.
spoken to a rubber duck before?
Yeah, that's a good one.
I use my non-technical coworkers.
Yeah. So for anyone who's very confused about why I'm talking about rubber ducks, if you're a software developer, odds are you're doing a lot of problem solving. And the idea is that when you're thinking about a problem, you speak it out loud with someone. That someone could be your coworker or your friend or something. But if you're on your own and there's no one, there's always the rubber duck. And so you explain everything in depth, like why you think this thing is not working and what possible solutions are out there and what your hypothesis is and so on. And I don't know if there is any element of psychology to it, but it tends to help out with actually making your thoughts nice and clear and laid out, and then you can progress there on with your problem solving procedures.
Yeah, thank you.
You get like 20% into the discussion, and I'm like,
You're
oh
like,
shit.
Yeah.
So thank you for your time.
or you share your screen, your coworker goes.
Yeah.
You're missing semicolon on
Yeah.
line 27.
But before you say
You're like,
Yeah. This has been linked
3 hours ago, maybe it was.
Okay, so this is resources. There's this course on front-end masters. If you are a student or if you still have your one email, you can get student access. It's 35 monthly, but front-end master is very, very nice. I don't want to be racist, but I prefer this to Udemy. I can create a course on Udemy. Does not mean that I'm not very good, but the guys on front-end masters are from big companies and they've been doing these things a while. So it's nice to have beginner courses, but these guys are very, 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 very skilled. NDev Slack, I got a lot of suggestions, and family and friends, I asked a lot of people for suggestions, and yeah, I guess that's it. Have an event on Saturday. It would be interesting. It should be interesting. It's called DevFest. What I mentioned about at the beginning of the chat. We have a panel session. We have a live workshop, and probably tomorrow on Slack I would ask. I have a panel of like 4 team leads. I guess a founder will also be a team lead, and I'm looking for questions to ask them that would be useful for everyone. And I also have Jack come to speak about web. So that's it. Questions? No questions. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, AbdulKabir, for the talk. Really appreciate it. Hopefully there's a bunch of tips that people can use there. Yeah, so that's it for NDev for 2022. There's only, 3? I think we did 3 of these. But hey, we're getting our feet back under us. Next year, 4? Oh, yeah, 4. Okay, look, see? There we go.
Amazing.
There's a whole other talk that I didn't even remember. So we're going to be doing this again in January. Hope everybody has a great break and nice and restful time over the holidays. And yeah, we'd love to see you then. Check out DevFest the weekend if you're interested. And if you or anybody else has interest in giving a talk, we'd really appreciate reaching out, and we'll try to set something up for the new year. Anybody can give a talk, doesn't matter. If you want to work on your public speaking skills, as long as it's somewhat related to software development, that's sort of all we ask. Yeah, does anybody have any events that are going on in the dev community that they'd like to pitch or talk about? Pretty quiet right now, probably.
What's DevFest?
AbdulKabir would know about DevFest. I don't know, it's a Google Groups thing?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
DevFest is Developer Festival. Just have a lot of experienced professionals from the industry come around to give talks, and also an avenue for people to network. I happen to be a product of GDG. I got here in July. I used to be in Lagos, Nigeria. I did a lot of volunteering, anti-AIDS club, and then I volunteered one day for GDG, and it was tech, and I got interested, and we are here today. so essentially, just an event professionals, chats, learning, and all of that. So I was going to, you mentioned about when you were calling for speakers, you said if you have like stage fright or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I did a lot of calculations in my score. I was like, presentation. And in fact, I wanted to do practice with Liam. I mentioned it. But then just don't think it too much. Just be prepared. Like have it, like that presentation. If I was coming to do it offered, it can be very somehow. But if you have all your presentation, it's just easy. In fact, I do have notes for each of the slides. It's just easy, and then I have people here to help me. So life is good.
Sweet. Thanks. Yeah.
Any hackathons happening anytime soon?
Hackathons?
GDNL? Anything?
There's probably gonna be something in the
So
spring.
GDNL usually runs the Global Game Jam at the end of January. Look at Bounce probably before that, because Bounce usually has a medical hacking cafe a couple times a year.
I think that would be February, March for Bounce. Yeah.
CTSNL every Thursday night, so if you're not in CTS, even though they're anathema to NDev.
More the merrier.
There's a lot of hard feelings. No, CTSNL is probably the more like a lot of students land there because the folks who run it are more tied to month. So they run a hack night every Thursday. So like, you just want to get out every couple of weeks and work on something in the company of other people without having to talk to them, which is like, I know we all find that. But I think they just lost their space is the only thing.
Oh, no
They
more
might
open?
be closed.
Yeah, they are closed for now.
What's that? They were closed
Yeah.
last week for sure, but I saw something online about them being closed longer term, which would be annoying at best. But they've been a really good home for most of a year, maybe.
Yeah.
So if anybody knows great venues, get in touch with
That's
CTSNL.
the other thing. I was thinking like Jen Dion and those folks have a permanent home now, and I think he's at St. John's. They rent the space for $25 an hour, so if you get 5 people to chip in a coffee, you can get that space.
Yeah. And I mean, if you want office space, I think you can rent the desks in here. I can find the details and send those along. But in terms of event venues, let NDev know as well.
Yeah. So that's one other thing is that thank you very much to TechNL for hosting the pizza and the space. It's been awesome to have us down here on Water Street. And Rally provided the drinks tonight, so thanks to Rally. And thanks to Liam for working so hard on setting these talks up the past little while. He's been a great help. So cool. Well,
All right.
that's it. Enjoy some pizza.
Thank you for having me.
More beer, more cider. Yeah,